Alrighty, hello everyone. I am back with another video. This is a new style. Instead of playing my normal Trundle, I'm on one of my other accounts, and I'm playing some Maokai support. So I'm going to kind of talk you through this laning phase and how I work to carry this game. First, I'm going to turn down the sound a little bit. Alright, so what I'm looking for here, I haven't started an ability yet, and that's super important. If you start an ability, I'm going to turn it down a little more, sorry. If you start an ability right away, it kind of locks you into one type of playstyle. For example here, if I started Q, I would have a lot more damage, but I would also be unable to have immediate lockdown if I started W. So what I'm kind of doing here is I tell my team to come, and if they decide to run in and face check, like a lot of people do, especially when you have someone cheesy like an Ashe who can slow you down, then I can W on top of them and get my team a free kill real quick. But you can see now that I know that nothing's going to happen over here, I start Q so that I can help take this buff a lot easier. Over here I'm just standing to make sure they're not trying to invade, all that good stuff. So the main thing I'm doing when I'm thinking about this laning phase is that this is a double ranged matchup. So I know that since I'm melee, it's going to be really hard to contest. So I know that they're probably going to end up pushing into us. And unfortunately, my jungler is pathing topside, which means that unless a really good opportunity presents itself, we should really just chill until our jungler can get back over here. So the main part of this matchup is going to be try to play in bushes. Now they have a trade here, so I'm kind of forced to walk out. But the bush obviously stops them from attacking me and lets me have a greater vision advantage because they don't know exactly where in the bush I'll be. So here I'm walking up, trying to thin out the wave so they can't push into us too quickly using my Relic Shield here. I started Relic Shield, they just buffed it. The health regen is really good. So I'm not a huge fan of the sapling spam Maokai support. I think he has really good value as an engage support, and I think that's his stronger playstyle. So they're pushing in as expected. You can see that Ashe also has lethal tempo, which is important, because normally you'd get something like the Comet or the Hail of Blades, but lethal tempo allows her to have a lot more DPS, which means that I can't really do an extended fight against them. Because if I go an extended fight against them, they'll both stack lethal tempo, and they'll probably end up winning. So you can see now that my mid lane had some trouble, double trouble here. Had to use flash, but it's alright, we're just chilling, waiting for our jungler to be able to come back. Because that's when we're really going to have a good kill opportunity here. Either that, or when I hit like 2 points in Q, like if I hit level 4... we'll have a lot more damage, and I think it'll be a lot easier. However, I can see my jungler coming down the river, so I ping on the way, getting ready to set this up. So I kind of bait them into walking forward, and then I flash W onto the Jinx. And although our jungler does die, it's a kill secure. She flashes out of it. I'm just trying to run behind her. And unfortunately, it does that and hits her that way for some reason. I was trying to knock her back towards my Xayah. I don't know. Maokai's Q is a little funky sometimes. But here's really the important part. We need to crash this wave so we can get a recall off here. And I end up going up in the river because getting a ward up here is super valuable to protect against Viego ganks. And also Vision Plant, so it's nice. Take a recall right up here to make sure that my Xayah is protected. If Vex tries to roam or if Viego tries to come, we'll see them right away. Take my recall, get my health back. For the first back, I just ended up getting boots so I can get back faster, and a control ward because there's a dragon up very shortly. We're going to follow this for a second. I don't wait for my whole health bar. That's something else important because I know that my first auto attack with my passive is going to heal me. So it's not super crucial that I actually wait for all my health. Here I'm looking for a roam mid, which is something you can do every single time you recall as support, assuming you get the wave crashed. If the wave's not crashed under the enemy tower, there's probably not going to be an opportunity to take a roam. Here what I'm doing is I see that my Aurelion Soul is low, so I'm trying to get the wave up in the lane and crashed for him so that he can get out of here. And here you can see I'm about to go ward this bush, but I got a surprise waiting for me. So I try to knock him away. I'm just trying to get out of here. I slow him with the sapling, make sure to keep my stuff. He ends up hitting with the edge of the stun again. I try to knock him away, but he flashes for it. Barely escape over the wall. Now, this is important. He's now stuck in here with my two laners. So he overchased that. Since I was able to survive, super worth. Because they get him here, and then the enemy support also traps themselves. So even though it was unintentional, it was a really good bait to get these two to chase us. Or chase me into the jungle. It ended up working out really well for my team. So here, I'm only taking the very last hit. I don't want to take my ADC's farm, but I also want to shove this out so I can get out of here and look for another play mid. So use my stacks, push forward. I'm thinking about engaging on the Jinx if she oversteps again. She really wants this cannon, and I know she does, so that's why I'm stepping up for it. And perfect to get my sapling down. And I kind of had to take it there, or she would have gotten one more auto attack off. But, yeah. Ashe is here, so I have to back off. But actually, I'm just recalling, so I want to focus on this, because I didn't actually get to watch this during the game. This Xayah is a beast, by the way. Just a random ADC, but they're super talented. And they just destroyed the enemy ADC. I know that Viego's on Drake here, but my jungler's topside, so there's not even a reason to try to contest it. I'm mostly just looking for vision when I come up. By the way, for recall, I went ahead and got a Kindle Gem. I really need the health, and the ability haste helps me with further lockdown. My ADC's recalling, so I'm looking for a play mid. I know Aurelion Sol doesn't have TP, but I'll just kind of hover around mid, maybe get him some vision if I can. Get some vision up here so that Viego can't get behind my mid laner. Looking for a play on the Vex as soon as Aurelion Sol is back. I know that he's kind of in W range about now, so that's when I decided to head in. It was right when Vex overextends too. We're going for the lockdown. I'm going to Q her into the wall for the stun. I Q'd her out of his E, unfortunately, but Viego also shows up. Even more unfortunate. But I do die, but my mid laner gets to trade it and gets out. So, it's unfortunate, but at least Aurelion Sol gets a kill. Oh yeah, and then Viego agrees for it. So he gets 2 kills. It's better with the Shen ult. The only bad part about this is that my Xayah is getting pressured under tower. But with Kha'Zix nearby and me coming back, we'll have a really good opportunity here. And now we're kind of back to just standard laning. They could take a reset here, but I don't think they do, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they don't. And that actually leaves us more opportunity to be able to fight them. However, my ADC is kind of low on health, so it is a tad bit risky. Jinx is here by herself, because I see Ashe leave. So I know that we can pressure a little more. Again, it's all about the wave, so I'm just trying to get this wave forward so that my Xayah can get back to base now. She gets back to base, she gets more health, and we're better able to contest later. Heading towards mid, trying to clear some vision. Clearing out a control word that I found. Kha'Zix is going to cheese. Works out pretty well. I'm coming back just in time. And I'm able to flash W the Jinx under tower. It follows her flash. And even though our jungler dies, we get Xayah another kill. She's now 3-0 and rocking it. This is a super dumb moment here. We're trying to push into the tower. She walks in, accidentally takes a tower shot. I walk in. I thought that it would switch to the minions, so I take a tower shot. We walk up here and it was just super unfortunate. We were all laughing in chat. I don't know why the aggro switched to me there. It was super weird, but it's okay. Jinx gets some gold off that, but we should be able to shut her down because of our point and click lockdown. So again, here, right at a base, the wave's in a good spot, meaning in the middle, so it's okay for me to roam like this. So I'm heading about straight mid lane. Curving a little bit in the jungle because I don't see a super big play here, so I can cut back to bot lane if I need to. Another big factor here is just trying to get vision because the next Drake is up pretty soon. Looking for an ult play when I know Xayah's close. I want to focus on the Ashe because she's a little bit squishier. So I knock her back, get the kill there, successful pick. And that's why vision is so important, because I can catch them off guard. They don't even see my R until it's basically on top of them. Here I greed a little bit. It ends up costing me my life. I thought that Xayah could do a little more damage, but she didn't have her lethal tempo stacked. So it was pretty hard. So I kind of int there, but at least I keep her alive. Come back out of base. The wave is under her tower, so it's about to push out into them. So it means I kind of have to come back bot lane. I do go over here just because I want to get vision on this Drake, and because my jungler's there to help out. So it's way less likely. I think she's low enough that I can do something, so I'm kind of trying to get on top of her here. But Vex has a lot of kills right now and had the R reset. If I hadn't had the fling there and I had gotten the aftershock damage, it might have turned out a little bit better. But I end up getting shoved out of lane. I mean, at least I waste her time, I guess. But now I'm coming over to help with Drake. I'm gonna grab my health thingies. And my main goal is to just keep Viego away. So you can see my sapling there prevented him from coming. And we're just letting Kha'Zix take Drake. I'm using this opportunity because I know Viego's gone to just get a ward up here so we can know next time he's bot side. And now I'm a little low on health, so I'm going to go ahead and take a recall as well. There's a lot of recalling involved. Most of that is so I can buy control ward for vision. You see, almost every time I'm back, I get a control ward, unless I have full item slots like this. But yeah, we're rocking it this game so far. 136. I have a few deaths, but I've gotten even more kills for my team out of it. You can argue that some of it was luck, but I would say that a lot of it was just knowing how to set up plays. Like, every time I'm mid, I go for it. And that's what I think is really important about playing engage supports, is sometimes you just gotta go for it. You gotta try. Here's a little bit of a blunder on my part. I'll let you guys see what happens. I signal for her to bait. I want them to try to engage on her. Unfortunately, she gets hit by that R, and I'm too far away. So I try to get out, but the slow really gets me. So I was just too far away for anything to happen there. Xayah didn't have R, Shen didn't have R. It was kind of just an unfortunate situation. At least they get a good play mid. This Kha'Zix is also very good. I'm surprised. This is my ult account, like I said. So I'm playing through my placement games right now. And I just hit silver 1 in my placements. And I'm still finding these particularly talented players. Like this Xayah and Kha'Zix are rocking it. Which I'm just astonished by. Not that I think all silver players are bad, obviously, but it's really nice to see cooperation, because I really enjoy this supportive style, where I just get them all the kills that I can. That's like I think it's the most fun way to play. Obviously you've seen my Trundle top, so I do really like the split pushing and the taking prio and control and dueling, and that's all really fun. But I'd still say this is my most, what's the right word? I think it's the most fun, and I also think I'm the best at it, because I can see really good opportunities for engaging. Here, they miss the ult, I knock Viego out of turret, and that gets us a free kill. I'm not scared of the tower dive, because I know it'll be more worth it if we get the kills. Even if I die, if Xayah gets those kills, it just puts our team so much further ahead. And here, Ashe makes the crucial mistake of not backing down, and we get a free kill on her here. And I actually survived this too. Even better for us. And that's what I'm talking about. You gotta be bold. You gotta make those plays. And the engaged support meta is huge right now. It was predominantly enchanters dominating it, but right now with like the Alistar and Rakan and Nautilus buffs, as well as the changes to Relic Field, that was a huge one. They nerfed Spell Thief and they buffed Relic, so it makes it a lot more powerful for these engaged supports that can use the health regen really well. I watched that when I was playing, and I was like, holy, that damage. This Kha'Zix is doing very well. Now here, the major objective is Rift Herald, so I'm trying to get over there to make sure we can make some stuff happen here. Viego tries to make a pick on Xayah. We have to remember now that her ult is down, so she's going to require a lot more peel. I'm just trying to over here to make sure that Darius isn't taking our tower. But I end up having to flash his E because I would have died right there. Now we have all of us coming, so I'm a little less scared. I W inside of his Q. That's really important, because if I hadn't done that, then he would have healed a ton more health all of a sudden there. I R both to lock Viego down and to make sure that they can get Darius here. Unfortunately, I can't help for the rest of this fight, but my Aurelion Sol gets a good ult down, and really they should just disengage here, but Shen's kind of greeting for it. It ends up working out okay because Vex kind of ints, but it works out. Although now we lose this mid tower. I try my hardest, but she just rockets it away. So now flipping, Rift Herald's alive, but so is this dragon. And Hextech Soul would be amazing on our team. And even the Hextech Drake is super good for my team, because like attack speed ability haste is good for all of our champions. So I think that it is more valuable to go for this, even if we do give up the Herald. And obviously with Aurelion Sol we shred it. So I'm just over here tanking so we can get this done for. Tries to go for an ult steal, but nothing much comes of it. Gonna clear out this ward and head up towards top side. I figured that he's on the Herald, so I want to try to get over there, but they're blocking us in mid lane and it's not worth trying to fight, so. Now I'm just trying to go bot. I have some relic stacks still, so I wanna help out Xayah and get this shoved out. I Q through the wave, stack the cannon, and now I take my chance to recall. I want to help defend mid because this Aurelion Sol is not doing too hot right now. I recall, and here I'll actually highlight my build for you as well. I go Evan Shroud, mostly because I really need the resists against their team. They have a little bit of combo damage, mostly AD, but still. That's where my next build, or next item, which is going to be Sunfire, comes in. I ult into this fight, try and kick them out. It does catch these two, but once I get there, it's already a little bit hopeless. I thought I could clip past it on the wall there, but unfortunately I couldn't. Xayah wants to fight this, so I'm all in. I want to lock down this Darius so he can't do anything. Ugh. Darius is healing, man. Ashe just blast cones away, but Aurelion Sol goes over the wall, so I know that we should commit to this. I want to go for this Viego. The only reason I go for this is because I know that Aurelion Sol gets a W reset off that, so he'll be able to come and join me. Here, I know the next objective is Baron, so I'm taking this opportunity to grab some deep vision. In hindsight, I should not have placed this ward. It was kind of unnecessary, and it left me with, like, no vision down here. Aurelion Sol gets picked off, sadly. So you can see this is a tough game, but the plays that we're making are impacting the game really, really heavily. Now, what I'm thinking about is going bot side to hover Xayah, because I know that she's going to need protection if anyone comes. And I didn't know Viego was there at the time, but that's a huge value. I end up going mid, even though that should have really been Shen going mid, because I don't want them to get damage on our mid turret. If they break open mid, that'll make our lives infinitely harder. They're taking down Baron here, but there's not much we can do about it. So I go and switch some of my vision down bot side, because the next fight should be around Dragon. Now my main goal is to just keep Xayah alive and look for good picks. Those are my two main objectives. I see Viego on this red buff, so I kind of want to go up here. But there's no one to back me up, so it's kind of a... It'd just be an int play. Use my sweeper here to make sure they can't see me. They can't see where my ult starts. I'm ulting into this fight because I figure there's going to be a lot of battle in here. I need to peel off this Xayah, make sure she can do the damage. Shen's here, so I flash in. And that gives Aurelion Sol the triple kill. Now that sets up Dragon perfectly, allows us to get on full point. And I'm pinging mid so that we can push this out and have better prio. I want to recall just so I can get control wards and more vision. And my Sunfire Cape, of course. Sunfire Aegis. I always forget they changed the name of the items. Guys pushing mid here, which is perfect. These two are going to defend Darius in top lane. Also perfect. This team is very responsive, which I'm lucky for. But I also set them up very well. So now that I have more wards, I place a control ward here. I really should be putting that on the dragon. But I'm not that worried about Viego, because I know that my Xayah can just one-shot her. Or one-shot him, if he comes. Kha'Zix is making picks. He's better suited for this, because he's an assassin. And me and Xayah can just shred this, so we're not worried about it. You can see we have basically double their kills right now. Following, now we can try to start sieging mid. Kind of just roaming around, making sure Xayah can do her thing. I see Viego up here, so I want to try to steal his camp, but he smites it, unfortunately. I want to shove out this next wave just to keep mid-prio going, and to get myself a little bit more gold. Supports are pretty gold deprived, so it's always nice to find little picks like that. I just want to keep us pressuring on them. Also looking for some deep vision here. Throwing down my saplings to make sure the area is clear so I can ward it. We danger ping the Xayah, make sure she won't get hit. I'm looking to contest the vision over here. Viego shows up, so I take the ward and start kiting him away. He's very persistent, however. Slow him, he ults, I ult him. I use my auto attack here to heal, which is super important. The Shen ult here saves me, which I'm very appreciative of, obviously. In reality, I shouldn't have been up here contesting vision when my team was back here. But I just didn't think that VAO had that much damage on me, considering how much armor stacking I had. Foolish mistake in hindsight, but turned out alright thanks to Shen. Kha'Zix escapes. You can see I'm heading bot side, because this soul fight is really going to be the game decider here. I want to set it up here. I ran out of gold for control wards, but I do have my normal wards, and I'm looking to just keep Xayah alive and allow her to fight. In hindsight, I definitely should have been here rather than where I was, because I have no impact on this anyways. But that's alright. We end up losing mid inhib, I believe, here, because there's no one to back me up, and I obviously can't duel this guy. 4 levels below. So I just kind of harass him a little bit, try to get the wave off. But I really have to wait for help. Shen gets caught over here too. Just whatever, but... Now this puts us in a really risky position. Because with the mid prio that they're basically always going to have with their super minions, they can easily look for a Baron, and it's going to be spawning soon. So... I mostly am just kind of looking around, looking to get vision up here, as long as I have backup. Because that's really what's going to be the death of us this game, is if they can get that Baron again and start sieging bot and top. That would be really, really detrimental. So I go over here, hit the vision plant. Darius gets out of here, but I place a ward, trying to light up this area for us. Baron and Dragon are going to be spawning around the same time, so we kind of have to choose, which is where it gets a little risky. I definitely want to prefer Soul. If we can get Soul, that will help us tremendously. You can see here I'm building towards my next health item, just trying to stack health so I'll deal damage with my Sunfire. I ping Baron. I think that we might be able to just trade. My team wants to fight this, and I think that's fine. He gets stun locked. I'm just trying to peel Xayah. I stun him into the wall, keep her alive barely. And the Shen ult allows our jungler to survive, which was super key. If I still had my R here, it would have been a great opportunity. But this fight here basically just gifts us a free soul, which is awesome. So I sweep out the wards, make sure that they cannot see us. Because Jinx always has the slight chance of trying to steal with her ult. So now the game plan with our soul is to try and pressure Baron, but to do that we need someone pressuring bot side. So that's what Aurelion Sol's doing here. He's pinging on the way to Baron. He does the right thing here. He shoves out the wave first so that we can have numbers advantage up on Baron. Kha'Zix is a great pick here. I'm heading this way, and we're pretty comfortable starting it. Just because Viego would have a really hard time getting in here with our 2 areas of vision. We know where he'd be coming from, and I have a ward over the wall here, so super unlikely that he gets a steal. Aurelion Sol wants to siege top, so I go and try to back him up. Me and Xayah. I think this is a good call. This Aurelion Sol is doing pretty good here. The reason why we want to go top and not mid or bot is because first off, obviously they're going to protect mid harder, but also if we all pressure top lane, that allows Shen to keep pushing. And if Shen's pushing, he can always ult into this fight. So he always has the pressure to join us. whereas Darius without TP wouldn't. So Shen is also doing the right thing here by drawing pressure down here, like Darius is down here, so he's unable to contribute if we fight up here. But Shen can always ult away. So I think it's a really good call here. Aurelion Sol starts to back off, but I really think that we should keep pressuring this, so I keep Baron minions up. If they want to try to fight us, Aurelion Sol has empowered R, and I have R, so I'm pretty sure it's just a free win. You can see they're getting on us a little bit here. It is getting a little bit more iffy whether or not we'll win here. But Aurelion Sol steps up, and eventually kind of back and forth here. We're just trying to keep the pressure on. I start to recall because I want to try and help Darius, but I see that Kha'Zix already went, so I don't think it's super important anymore. Aurelion Sol gets hit by the R, so I try to peel him off. I'm going to throw Jinx away. I could have thrown her towards him, but I was worried that she would be able to kill him before he could do anything, or before Xayah could do anything. I try to protect her here, but the edge of Viego's thing hits her. This is kind of a scattered fight, but with the Aurelion Sol R and my passive being up, I think we're okay. So I heal off her, barely survive, she gets the kill. That was a very kind of chaotic fight there, but the most important takeaways from it, from looking back, would be that you should just never stop fighting. Like, that's a principle. Obviously, I mean, like, don't just run down at enemies constantly, but in a team fight, if you're playing this type of CC champion, like CC Peel champion, you should really just be in the middle of it, throwing abilities, locking people down, and getting people away from your carries. That's your goal. I wasn't worried about my health bar, especially with Maokai. It's nice because those attacks also heal you with your passive, which comes up every so often, but it's super important that you just keep on it and you keep doing your job. If you get scared and run away, it's going to make life harder for a lot. Make your life a lot harder for the rest of your teammates. Here, our inhib barely survives is kind of goofy here. The only reason I didn't go back and protect this is because I needed to make sure that Xayah was safe getting this inhib. And honestly, if we lose mid inhib and we trade an inhib for it, I think it's still fine. Because no one gets gold off taking that inhib, and we got gold from the tower and inhib. They're getting a little bit picked here, so I use R. I want to lock down this Jinx. Importantly, I knock her towards the Ashe, so that we can do this AoE combo here, with the Kha'Zix jump and the Aurelion Sol Star. I could have easily knocked her into the wall, but then our AoE would have been less effective. So that's another thing to consider, is just the positioning in fights. Here I have my dead mans. I'm just fully stacking armor because I'm not that worried about Vex, and she's their only AP. Ashe honestly probably should have been going some AP, but it's their own, I guess. So she's the only AP, so I'm not worried about that at all. So I just go for my dead man. With the extra move speed, it also just makes picks a lot easier. Here I'm running over, see if I can do anything here. Xayah's also on the way, importantly. I get stunned by Ashe Arrow, but these two clean it up. And now, the most important Drake comes up, which is the Elder. And the Elder is the most important because the Execute becomes the win con. Like, if their team got it right now, they're like 20 kills behind, but there's still a feasible chance that they destroy us and win the fight. Like, totally feasible. So, knowing how important this objective is, I know that we kind of have to pick them off here, because I wanted to stand and wait, because if we were able to get a kill on Viego, this is free, completely free, despite the slight chance that she steals it with her R, but it's honestly probably not going to happen, considering she also ults really early. But how you can avoid those ult steals is just make sure to stand kind of on the outer rim of the pit. Because obviously I was tanking it, but if I wasn't, like if I was a DPS, you just want to stand on the outer edge of the pit so that the splash damage can never even get close to Dragon. And that's really how you counter that sort of lucky cheese strategy that some champs can do. With Lux R, it's a lot harder, but maybe I'll cover that in another video. Here, I'm just following Kha'Zix's plays. Basically, we have Elder buffs. We win any fight right now. So I'm looking for vision, but I'm also just looking to see if anyone wants to come. Honestly, I even think I could duel somebody right now pretty easily. With a full combo and Elder buff, I doubt that that anyone can win against me. Probably Darius. Darius probably could. Viego still probably. But anyone else, I have enough lockdown. I think that my execute damage would do enough. Pushing through mid, I was like trying to give this to her, but then I realized she's already full build. So might as well take the gold for myself now. That's another important thing. Don't just never take minions. Like if you're by yourself or if they have full items, just take the minions. Viego's trying to flank here, but I'm still not that worried about it. We have Elder, so we can go full on aggressive here. The main reason why we're waiting and not trying to like ult, tower dive, siege here is because bot lane or top lane's pushing in with the super minions. Shen's pushing in bot lane, so we have pressure on all fronts. So we just kind of have to wait till all of it converges. The goal basically is to give them no good options. Here I want to R under tower just to try and pick someone off. My team's kind of distracted with Darius, so it doesn't really do much. Bit of a wasted R, but it turned out okay. I'm coming over here, trying to make sure this ends well, and that it does. Now I'm kind of stuck in this awkward spot where I can't really get back into the base to get over to Xayah. I could walk around, but I'd lose a lot of tempo, so I kind of want to stick over here. Over here, we're using our execute damage to make sure that Aurelion Soul stays alive. This Viego is kind of trolling, but I won't let that take away from our victory. Aurelion Soul's TPing back in, and this is pretty much the game ender right here. I'm not even worried about them. I'm just mostly going for the plays on here. And that's the end of the game. I flashed into Fountain at the end trying to get the execute damage off on Viego, but alas, nothing much comes of it. But that is all right. So looking back at this game, let's see which one was it. I think it was this one right here. If we look at our stats, we dealt a ridiculous amount of damage. We actually dealt more than Shen and close to the carries with our Sunfire. We dealt more than the enemy support and the enemy jungler, actually, which is rather crazy. Other stuff to look at that's super important. The overview, they were ahead, but we mostly took it back. It was a pretty even game. Looking at the stats, another thing that I like to look for is where is it? Obviously vision score. It's good. Ashe still had more than me, but it's easy with her hawk shot. So, yeah. Oh, crowd control score. That was what I'm looking for. Look at that. 102. No one else even came close. And that's what's so powerful about these engaged supports. So, let me know if you want to see another support gameplay commentary. And, yeah, thank you for watching. And make sure to like and subscribe.